I've made a ton of videos on Boba Fett. It's no secret he's been my favorite Star Wars character since 1980. I've watched and read every piece of material I can on the character. That's right, his appearances and stories aren't limited to what we see in live action, between the movies and series on Disney Plus only. No. There has been so much more written on the character of Boba Fett. Some canon, some legends, each adding their own bits while crossing some elements of Boba Fett's story over one another. But one thing is for certain. If the Boba Fett you saw in The Empire Strikes Back is the only Boba Fett you know, you're missing a lot. When I craft my Star Wars theories, I use every bit of material that's available, from novels and comics to movies. Most of my theories on the Mandalorian armor-wearing bounty hunter have been spot on. So, you may want to stick around. That isn't trying to sound arrogant, I just do a lot of research before posting a theory on Star Wars. Welcome back everyone, I'm Gerald and I'm a Star Wars fanatic, and you can be a Star Wars fanatic too. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. By subscribing to my channel, you are entering yourself in for a chance to win this Winter Soldier figure from Sideshow Collectibles, donated by one of our viewers. So if you like the Winter Soldier, or anything 1/6 scale, which are very expensive, and you like Star Wars and you know it, clap your hands and hit that subscribe button. With all that said, let's move on with today's topic. I know everyone doesn't share my affinity for Boba Fett. Really, my love has grown for him over the decades to the Mandalorian culture as a whole. Yes, my love for Boba Fett. Take it however you want it, but I didn't mean it that way. But Boba is still my favorite of all time. But that doesn't drive my theories. These Star Wars theories involving Boba Fett are out of deep research into the character. Even after Return of the Jedi, his story has been growing and developing. It continues to grow and develop as I write this. No, we are not done seeing Boba Fett. And if I'm right, we aren't finished with his story by a long shot. Let me give a little thought as to why. Star Wars has many iconic characters. Even if you aren't a Star Wars fan, you'll recognize these characters and will most likely know their name. And you'll know that they're from the Star Wars universe. Darth Vader, Yoda, Stormtroopers, Chewbacca, and Boba Fett are probably the most recognizable of these characters among adults and young adults. And yeah, even children. Yes, even with 6 minutes and 32 seconds of screen time and only 4 lines of dialogue, Boba Fett is a Star Wars icon. Maybe even only second to Darth Vader himself. Not bad for a side character who really didn't do much in his original appearances. Is he overrated though? If you've only seen him in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, I'd say yeah, for you he's overrated. But no, he isn't overrated for the rest of us. In fact, the Mandalorian series wouldn't exist if it weren't for Boba Fett. Neither would the clones we know and love. In fact, there's so much in the entire story of Star Wars that can give thanks to Boba Fett. I've mentioned this in other videos, so I'll keep it short. If not for Boba Fett, we wouldn't have got the "I am your father" line the way we did. We wouldn't have got the Jabba the Hutt sequence in Return of the Jedi. Luke wouldn't have lost his hand on Cloud City in that way. To be honest, Darth Vader wouldn't have even known his son had survived birth if not for Boba Fett. Also, Han Solo would have died before Return of the Jedi released in 1983. So, it could be said that the entire story of Star Wars post the destruction of the first Death Star was due to, you guessed it, Boba Fett in some way, shape, or form. If you've seen any of my Boba Fett videos, you'll know my theory that Boba Fett will become Mandalore. Like it or not, the clues are in place. He wasn't revived to be a sidekick or a side character. He was revived to be developed. They could have left him in the Sarlacc pit if that was the case. Disney isn't out to ruin his character. Really, Disney isn't out to do anything other than hand money over to Lucasfilm. They don't write the material. If you haven't seen my other videos on my Star Wars theories involving Boba Fett, I'll leave a link, or 2 of them, in the description below and at the end of this video. But to keep it short, but Not really. Boba Fett has shown more character growth than Din Djarin has. He's shown he's more interested in protecting people and sticking around. What happened at the end of the book of Boba Fett? Boba Fett stayed on Tatooine to help rebuild after the battle. Where was Din Djarin? He took off on his own with his foundling Grogu. Why? For selfish reasons, to redeem himself in the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore, not to be mistaken with reviving himself or purifying himself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Not to be the rightful leader, but to be accepted back into his covert, the Children of the Watch. Some say that Din Djarin will become a reluctant leader like Jon Snow of Game of Thrones. Well, Jon Snow turned down the crown. So yeah, Din Djarin may become a type of Star Wars version of Jon Snow. The entire series of the Book of Boba Fett was about him having a tribe, or family, or clan. The once loner bounty hunter, Boba Fett is developing into a leader. He's giving more hope to people who had none. He's giving protection and teaching people to stand up for themselves who had only lived a type of life of servitude. But my other videos go into detail about all this, so I won't extrapolate too much. I really don't want to focus on that anyway. No, I want you to focus on a question. The Mandalorian series on Disney Plus has been widely accepted by diehard fans and casual fans alike. Critics are going crazy about it and fans are going crazy about it. But what if Din Djarin isn't the title character? What if Mando isn't the Mandalorian? This is probably where some of you will say, "Alright, I'm out." But stick around. There are facts that point to Boba Fett being the Mandalorian. The most recent fact is from an interview with Dave Filoni, co-creator of The Mandalorian, creator of the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, some of the best animated stuff on TV. And Dave Filoni said this: the plan was always to bring back Boba Fett. That means that when The Mandalorian was first being conceived, Boba Fett was there. Even before they created Din Djarin, Boba Fett was already present. This is evident in the Gunslinger episode of The Mandalorian Season 1. At the end, it was Boba Fett's feet showing up to find Fennec Shan almost dead. His story as Mandalore, or leader of the Mandalorian people, and as the Mandalorian, was being set up from the beginning. A lot of people said I was crazy when I said that it was Boba Fett's feet back then. I was told that Boba Fett died in the Sarlacc. Get over it. Let it go. Those are exact words. You can go back to the videos and read them. They're in the comments. Now, he will be leader of the Mandalorian people. I'm probably the only one that thinks that and is saying it out loud in front of a bunch of people, but I don't care. Everything created in the new canon about him points to it. But if I'm wrong, I'm okay with that. It isn't my way or the highway. I'm not that arrogant where I think my theories need to come true or I'll get all mad harumph, harumph, harumph. That's not the case at all. I'm humble, and I don't mind. Let's look at it from another perspective, though. The stories involving the Mandalorian, Din Djarin shows he's a loner. When he finished his deal with Bo-Katan, he left. Yes, he had a team with him to rescue Grogu. Oftentimes, bounty hunters will work with teams. But that didn't last long. As we see in the Book of Boba Fett, Din Djarin is alone again. So, he ditched Bo-Katan, Cara Dune, and Koska Reeves somewhere along the way. He helps people, but usually for a gain on his end. The only exception for that being Grogu. But what about the villagers with the Klatooinian marauders? They paid him. In fact, they gave him every penny of their savings, and he gladly took it. Sure, he helped them, but he was paid to do so. He's a bounty hunter. Why not? Din Djarin is in the same place that Boba Fett was during The Empire Strikes Back, character-wise. That means Boba Fett has evolved past the loner gunner archetype. And that's what good characters do. They evolve. But this isn't the first time we've seen this compassionate Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett. No. He showed this side of his character in the Clone Wars series, not just once, but on 3 separate occasions, at least. The first was when he was younger, pre-shaved head phase. He was being trained by Aurra Sing, who wanted Boba Fett to be getting vengeance on Mace Windu for killing Boba Fett's father, Jango Fett. Boba did everything to complete the mission, including planting a bomb in Mace Windu's quarters aboard a Republic Venator-class destroyer. The attempt failed, and Boba was left to devise another plan. Take out the engines. He was successful, but the entire ship was going down, and the clone recruits he had disguised himself among were sent out in escape pods. Boba Fett went with them. When he was picked up by Aurra Sing, he wanted to save the other cadets. He didn't think it fair they should have to die. He only wanted to kill Mace Windu. When Boba Fett and company reached the surface, they had taken some Republic officers as prisoner. Aurra Sing wanted to kill them, but again, Boba protested. Killing innocent people was not what Boba Fett's mission was about, and he made that clear. Another instance was closer to the end of the Clone Wars. Boba was working with a team to protect an important asset during transport through dangerous territory. When the asset turned out to be a kidnapped girl, Boba thought she was being attacked by the Marauders, when in fact they were trying to rescue her. But when he saw it was a girl, he told her not to worry, that he would protect her. Protect her. Nice. The next time we see Boba Fett being compassionate during the Clone Wars was actually an episode that was never finished. Boba Fett finds that his old mentor, Cad Bane, had been terrorizing a small village and tries to put an end to it. The result is Boba Fett getting a dent in his helmet and Cad Bane getting a metal plate in his head. We all know how that ended up, though. Cad Bane died in single combat against Boba Fett. No, he didn't live. He died. Watch my video on Cad Bane died. It's back there a little ways. The point of all this is to highlight some of the best reasons that I believe Boba Fett will be Mandalore, and the story won't stop with him either. We may even get 2 more generations of Fetts after him, or maybe more than that. His daughter, Aelin Vel, and his granddaughter, Mirta Gev, who both went on to have Fett-worthy adventures of their own. If this does happen, before anyone yells that Disney is woke for having Boba Fett pass the armor to females, these characters have existed for more than 20 years. Personally, I can't wait to see how it turns out. But that's all I have for today. This is Gerald from Star Wars Fanatics signing off, wishing you all great health and happiness. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is the way, the only way.